Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another room build. This one is a bit of a, I don't even know, is it even a room? So this video we're doing the hallways, the foyer, the entrance of the house, the conservatory at the back of the house, sort of, I guess it's more the room between the rooms, if that makes sense. Like it's everything in between all of the rooms because that is part of the house as well. That is something that we need to decorate. And we're going to be doing that this video. So it's something that is much more dependent on the shape of your house. So it's always hard to, and I found this a little bit difficult in this house as well. Like I think I did this part of the foyer, like this sort of lower ground area, not even much of it, but I did a part of it now. And then I did the rest of it like right near the end of the house build. So you might see some of the rooms sort of completed in the background as we continue on through this video. But I've sort of put it all together so we can talk about it as one. So in most of the houses that I've done in the past in The Sims 4, I've not really done this much of hallways or foyers just because none of the houses are that big. So it was interesting to come to this and then figure out how I am supposed to actually fill the space, because you can't just, it's not a traditional room in the sense that it doesn't have a set sort of arrangement of objects that you could use. Like we can't just put down sofas and couches and reading areas and little nooks and bookcases everywhere. I mean, we could, but it doesn't really make sense. So this area here, right by the front door, I was thinking like this is your like grab and go station. I don't know. That's just something I named it now because you know you got your coats up there, you got your shoe rack down the bottom, you have the dog leashes hanging there as well, and then that little basket bowl that I put there, which a lot of people actually ask me about. That is a buy-to-bug item, which you can find if you do bb.show hidden objects, the cheat. And then I think it's from Seasons. So I put that there. So it was like kind of like a key bowl. Like you'd walk in the house, check your keys in there. So you always know where they are. Apparently I've moved it now anyway. But yeah, so it's like, that's what this kind of section was, the idea of it was supposed to be. Like this is like the main entrance exit. So this is where you'd sort of put all that stuff you need just before you leave. Also, if you want to see the other videos in this series, we are building a complete mansion. We've already done the kitchen, we've done the dining room, we've done the garage, we've done the workshop, and now we're doing the hallways and the foyer in this one. So you can check that out on screen or in the description down below if you want to watch the other stuff. If you want to watch me build the house as well, it'll all be there. But today, we're going to keep doing the hallways. So I did also just put down, which was actually really cool. Like, I don't know if you saw, there was like a little package and like a letter that had been delivered. Just again, some more buy-to-bug items that were just nice decorative little pieces to add that more lived in kind of feel to the house. And I mentioned this in the previous videos as well. I really want this place to feel lived in and like a home. So just doing those kind of items around and using them sparingly. Like I think there's a fine line between like a good amount of clutter and just like mess. Where if you're going for mess, that's fine. But I was trying to make this feel, not out of the scope of, clutter. So I've got that little umbrella thing from Seasons by the front door because I put it down ages ago because I was like, I don't want to forget this. I don't want to forget it. So I keep moving it around wherever it needs to be. What I'm doing with this is like, there's a lot of space. But the thing is, not all space doesn't need to be filled. It needs to be designated, if that makes sense. So if you have a space that's designated to be empty, then it will work. And whatever, I don't know. Look, I'm not some interior designer. That's probably not even the right term to use. If you are an interior designer, let me know in the comments down below. But what I mean is, like, if the space is designed to be open and to be empty, then it will look okay. Like, you don't have to have stuff on the walls all the time. You don't have to have a window on every wall. You don't have to have like some object everywhere. And that's what I was trying to figure out how the best way to do it, because visually getting things to line up and to fit and to work right was a bit of a challenge in this space particularly, because we got the stairs off to the left, we have the door almost the door sort of in the center of this space, and then we have all this, and it's essentially just a hallway that Sims need to walk through, so it needs to be open, but it also needs to feel like something's happening in this area, like there's a use for this space. It would be nice to do, like, if there was some sort of, I'd love to do like storage cupboards or something like that, like built-in storage cupboards, but it would, like, there's nothing really that would fit. Like, they don't really have, and what I mean by that is like some sort of built-in storage cupboards just along a wall or something, like a linen closet or something like that. But there's nothing really to do that. I guess you could use the built-in wardrobes from the bedrooms and that, but I don't think they look particularly great, especially because they're like a sliding door. I really just like normal cupboards. That'd be nice. But in lieu of that, we do like the full-length mirror along the hallway there. And I think we got the family schedule board, or like the curfew board, is it? So we can sort of use that. And that sort of goes in the line of I'm trying to make even the space between the rooms usable and useful by putting that board in there. So we have a little bit of gameplay to do there. There's a reason to go there other than just walking through it. And much like the front door, I've put in the sort of hat rack there, the shoe rack. So like things that you would grab and go, or things that you would leave there before coming back into the house. Now this particular area here is actually really nice. So this is a conservatory that we've built off the back of a house, which is something that's pretty common in British homes, is this little conservatory at the back. It can be done in lots of different ways. It could be done as an extension to an existing room, like a living room or a kitchen, where it sort of open up the space and continue on. In this case, it's sort of just chucked on the back as well. So it's sort of like at the back of the house, we still have the brick wall in there as well, but we have a nice big glass roof over it, so you get this amount of light flooding in during the day. And I think this would be really, really nice to sit there and just relax in the sun. And I said this in, I think in the, I don't know what video, maybe the house tour, where I was like, you can sit here and relax in the sun while it rains, or, relax in the light while it's raining. And people were like, what? And I'm like, do you know how rainbows work? Like, it can rain and still be sunny. That's a thing that happens. And also, it can still be bright, even if it's raining. Like, not all rain is like... Anyway, you know what? We're living in the past. We've got to move on. Let's move on from that. So this area as well, this area is a little unusual and a little bit challenging to fill in because it is just like a 2x5 area, 2x7, 2x6. So I'm just trying to count how many tiles. I think it's 2x6. It's a very unusual space. So I put the dog door down there. Like, we don't really need a dog door in this house. Like, I mean, pets can just go through normal doors. It's not really anything to even worry about. But I put a dog door there. I thought it would be a nice little place for it. And then it was just like a little reading area. And also I think we did some dog toys in the area too. Now upstairs we have this landing, which is obviously an extension of this whole foyer. I actually did turn this into a little bit of a living room. So this is almost like a little games area. This is, I guess you could think of it as like more of a recreation or games area, like I said. So it has just a small 2-seater sofa and a single armchair, and then we're doing a TV and basically a whole like sort of little entertainment center setup with a TV, bookcases, games console. So this is where you come to play games. The kids can sit out here. We got the 3 chairs. Currently we have 4 kids, but one of them is a baby, so it doesn't really matter that. Anyway, whatever. We can always add it on the chair. So I'm using the kitchen cabinets, the smaller size ones. I really like using those for like entertainment centers because we don't even really have big TV entertainment areas in the game, but you can sort of fake them by doing this. Only problem with doing this is when you put the walls down, it goes invisible because they sit on the wall normally, but it still looks pretty good, so I still quite like it. So all of this as well, it almost seems like this area doesn't seem as old as the house, but it still seems like it's kind of old, right? Like it seems maybe late 90s, early 2000s, they put in that sort of entertainment center. Maybe the sofas are a bit newer than that, but that sort of built-in system there seems pretty old. Like obviously not the TV and that, but like the actual cabinets, they don't seem like something you'd get in any recent years. So I quite like that in that sense. But yeah, so this is just like a nice little space between the space. Off to the right we got that tiny 1-tile wide hallway, which is not ideal, and people have pointed it out, but a little bit late for it now. There was a reason we did it, and I explained it in the build video. Maybe I explained it in one of the videos. I don't know which. It must have been the house build video, which you can check out on screen or down below. I don't know if I already put it on screen, but you can check out the whole playlist of this house down below, which will include all the other rooms as well. And like I mentioned earlier, you are getting a little bit of a sneak peek at the you can see the master bedroom, which has already been done. But you know, the whole house build is out, so you can also just download the house and look at all the rooms. But, you know, we're going through each room here and discussing what was the sort of thought process behind it. This was mainly because we only have one living room for essentially 6 Sims that are going to be living here. We've got the 2 parents and 4 kids. Only having one living room is definitely not ideal. So that's why this area was great for just another separate space that we could actually use. This, along with the secret hidden bowling alley, that's also a great room, which is going to be the next video. Surprisingly, that is the next video that is going to be coming out. We're going to be building an underground bowling alley hidden away behind a bookcase that is styled in a 60s 70s vibe, inspired by the one that's actually the one that's actually in the White House, which is like I think that's in the basement as well over there, isn't it? I don't know, but you know what, we'll talk more about that when we get to that video. Until then, we're going to keep doing this one. So again, I also made this place up here. We put this sort of toy chest in there to put some toys on the ground, but let's jump into the game and have a little bit of a tour of it. So this, I think, is really exciting, seeing all this come together, because it really brings the house to the next level. It really makes it feel way more alive, having stuff in the hallways. Like, look at this space. Isn't it really, really cool? Isn't it just cool to see stuff here? Oh yeah. So this painting on the wall, that's placeholder. I changed that later on. And I also changed this on. They're placeholder because we're going to be doing family portraits up on the wall. So if you remember from the dining room video, we have this painting in the dining room. Actually, I mean, I can just show you just there. So ignore that. That's going to change. Anyway, but yeah, how cool is this though? Like, it's starting to feel like a house. Like, we have this whole area. Look how open this is. It's so, oh man, I really love the feel of this. Down there, we've got the full-length mirror just here. Got the hallway down over that way. This sort of all wraps around to the kitchen, joins in really, really nicely. Oh, actually, I changed this in the final build too. Some of these are a little bit outdated, but because this is you know, the house build. Anyway, whatever. So that's the kitchen through there. We have our little conservatory that we're doing. Yeah, so like I said, there's a very odd little space. It's on the back of the house, but I really, really love it. I think like just the lighting in here. Like, look at this. Isn't this super nice? Yeah, there's a little drink tray there. You sit down here. Enjoy the sun. I think it turned out superb. And you just, especially when you come in here and it just opens up to the entire sort of area. You see the kitchen all through there. The stairs just here through to the exit of the house. Like, look at this. I think this looks really, really... Like, the doorway is so understated. The entrance is really understated. But I think that's the exact right feel that this house needed. And I love, like, there's that little package I was talking about. The letter as well. We've got the backpacks, the basketball down there. Which, by the way, the basketball's great for when we do the outside, which will be a video coming up soon. I don't know, actually outdoor videos a lot. No, that'll probably be like a week or 2 weeks. I'm sorry. There's so many rooms in this house. There's so many videos to do. I apologize. They'll be coming soon. Yeah, so this is the upstairs landing where we did the little sort of recreation games area, mini living space room. We got the small TV, the games console there, little toys tubs everywhere. There as well, an actual toy chest as well that we can use, and then just a little hallway. I do actually do some pictures on the wall down here in the final build, but yeah, that hallway is pretty small. We know that, we've spoken about it, but I think now that this whole space is opened up, like even just looking here, like I think, doesn't that look cool? I'm so pleased with this place. Like, I am so excited by this house. I hope you guys are too. I really hope you are too. Now, there's no download specifically for the Foyer because obviously this is like a weird collection of rooms. But again, you can download the entire house now if you want and play with it in your game, make your own changes. But yeah, that is it, guys. Thanks for watching this part. Make sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. But I will see you next time. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.